that is not what I wanted it to do. Drastic measures here. Should have brought my wellies. Right, let's see if we can drive it out. What's up guys, welcome to the garage. We have got the WLtoys, whatever number it is, can't remember. The D7 racing buggy, 1/12 scale, brushed, 550 motor. I do actually really like this. It's got plenty of power. It's a decent looking truck, I really do like it. However, there's a few things I want to change. The first is the suspension. And also I'm going to stick a brushless in there, put a bigger servo on, and we should have a nice, fast buggy that handles really well. And in all honesty, it's probably going to brake a lot easier as well. But anyway, let's get it upgraded. I'll just show you what upgrades I've got. These are going to be way over the top, the suspension. ZD Racing, and there's a link to these in the description. They are so cheap, but they look really nice quality. Alloy body and cap, and you've got your adjustable nut there as well for doing your spring rate. These look really nice. Massively over the top for this. To be honest with you, they might even fit my Senton, but it should mean this will handle really well. Pretty sure this has got a full-size servo in it, so I've got one of these 25 kilo ones. These are really popular, and you'll find a link to them in the description. And then the motor we're using is a Race Star 390 kV sensorless brushless with, should be, a 60 amp brushless ESC. These are similar to the Gaul RC ones, and again, for the cost of them, I really do rate them. Anyway, hopefully all of this is going to go in this and make this go like this. Anyway, let's get all the old stuff out of it, and then we shall go about fitting all the new things. I think what I'm going to do first is get the suspension on, make sure that works okay, and then we'll look at getting the motor. And I think when the motor's out, I'll get the servo fitted because it'll be easier access, and hopefully all will go well and we have a nice finished truck. All of this wasn't that expensive either. I think the brushless combo was like $40. That was, I think that was maybe 20 for all of them, or maybe 25, and these are like $12, so that is not an expensive upgrade. Obviously we're going to need to put our own transmitter receiver in there because it's a combined one that comes with the WLtoys, but all this will require its own receiver. Anyway, let's get on with it. Right, let's have a look at the suspension, see if this will fit. Hopefully it'll fit. We'll make it fit anyway. Not even going to change the oil in these because I want them they feel quite soft anyway. Feel relatively soft, but I want to keep them soft because this is a light truck. Right, is that going to fit in there? Ooh. I reckon we can just pull that plastic out a bit. Let's put the top one on first. Little bit of persuasion with the bottom. I mean, it's only just too big, so that will definitely, yeah, we're in now. To say that will definitely go in there. Yes, awesome. It doesn't actually look, the ride height doesn't look that much different. I've put it on the highest point on the shock tower, so it brings that ride height down. But that is awesome. And it doesn't even, I don't know if you can see in there, let me put it in the light, and you can just see there is just about the right amount of clearance there. I am really pleased about that. Right, I'm going to get the other four corners on, and then we'll be back and we'll whip the motor and the electronics out. So suspension is on, All of it completely adjusted, no spring tension on any of it at all. If anything, it's a bit too stiff, a bit like that thing when I first got it, so I get some thinner shock oil, but there is no chance of that thing, I mean that's quite high, bottoming out. No chance of it bottoming out. That thing is awesome. Right, on to the next thing, which is electronics out, motor out, servo, and then we'll go from there. Come on. That's the power switch. Let's just take that out. Right, ESC off. So what I do with these combined ESCs, get the transmitter that came with the truck, stick it or cable tie it onto the transmitter, and you can keep that because what I've done in the past, some of the lesser hobby grade or the toy grade stuff, you can actually use that with the transmitter and a 5-wire servo. It's a cheap option for upgrading, and it makes use of it as well. It's no use to me anymore, not on this truck, so keep hold of it and it may come in useful in the future. So ESC is off. What I want to do now is I'm going to take the motor out and I want to see how well the brushless is going to mount up against there. Make sure the pinion shaft, make sure the motor shaft is the right size as well. For the pinion, I'm guessing it's going to be all these screws on the top. Man, that suspension looks so cool. Looks like there's a screw on the bottom as well. Oh, and there's a screw on the other side of the spur. Wow, this is not easy to get out. That probably wasn't the most elegant way of getting it out, but it's out anyway. Look at the size of the pinion. It's a big old thing. Oh, it's only 19 teeth, it just looks bigger. I guess it's the pitch of it. Plastic spur in there, but you can see the bearings on it, and then you've got your metal drive shaft. As long as you're relatively careful with these brushes, I mean it's only a 390 kV, it's not the biggest one. As long as you're relatively careful, these don't do too bad. Strange motor mount, isn't it? It's like a, well, it's plastic, but it's feels like, I don't know, it's a bit weird. Would have been better if it was alloy, because it would have dissipated some of the heat a bit more. Wow, these are tight. Brilliant. Ugh, the grub screw has rounded off. Let's see if I've got a pinion that size. If not, I'll drill that one out. Right, so I've failed at drilling that out. All my bloody drill bits are blunt. I've got it half out, but so I've had the only other pinion I've got is gear. I've had to gear down a bit. I don't know how many teeth. What was that? That was 20 teeth, wasn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17. So we've gone down 3 teeth. So we've gone from a 20 to a 17. It's going to make the acceleration much better, and it might not even take any of the top speed off, because this motor is probably a little bit quicker than that 550. So not overly bothered, and pinions are cheap enough. And buy another one, stick it on. Because I've geared down the holes on this bracket, I've had to elongate that one just so I can move the pinion just in slightly so it meshes up against the spur, but that's all done now. So I'm going to get the servo out, and when the servo's out I'm going to fit this back in because it gives me more access in there. Then we'll get the servo changed, and then we should hopefully be ready to get a battery in, get a transmitter receiver in, and give it a go. So the servo looks like it should just come out with the 4 screws. Take the servo horn off. I think I'm going to take it off from the bottom because I can't access all the screws that are holding the servo in. Not a problem. There's 2 screws on the bottom. Servo comes out, and then it's just held on as they all are with 4 screws at the side. So this is a massive upgrade for that, way over the top as well, but got a 25 kilo digital servo. This, God knows what that is, but it weighs nothing compared to this. Metal gears, waterproof. It's going to fit nicely in there, and going to give this more than enough steering. If you've not taken stuff apart before or never really done anything like this, all you got to do is remember how it goes back together, and you'll be all right. What you can do, take photos of everything before, take photos halfway through, and take photos after, just, you know, just to give you a good idea of where stuff goes, and then that should stop any issues. Right, that's in. Let's get, where is it? Let's get that screw in there. Right, that's all that back together. Let's get the servo on. We're not going to connect the servo horn up yet. I don't know whether it'll go on there actually. It will go on, but these servos generally come with a nice alloy servo horn, so I think we might fit that. It's about the same size. So I'm going to put the servo in. We'll wait till the electronics are up so that centres, and then we'll get the servo horn fitted, and get the steering lined up. Find where you want to put it. So on this, I'm going to put it exactly where the stock one was. I'm going to keep the battery tray on this is underneath. I think you can remove that, but I like the quick release battery underneath, and the connector for this ESC tucks nicely in there. I tell you what, you could even put the switch in there as well, and that means you can switch it all on and connect the battery without taking the body off. Little capacitors there. Put a bit of tape on them. Like that, and then that leaves enough room at the front for your receiver. I'm going to use a little fly sky. This is off my VRX or FTX Carnage clone, so that should stick on the back there. Channel 2 for your throttle. Channel 1 for your steering. Right, my battery's not fully charged yet, but it's charged enough to give this a go. Whoa. Let's switch it off first. Transmitter on. Everything's zeroed. Alright, let's get this steering servo on, shall we? I'm itching to hit that throttle, but just changing the steering rod end because, well, not changing it. I'm going to try and swap out the little plastic ball cup there for this metal one, because the screw I need for the servo doesn't fit. Hopefully just be a case of plastic one out, metal one in, job done. Well, I think we're going to have to just leave the plastic one for now, because I don't want to have to start cutting the body now, but it's a bit wide at the bottom. We'll stick the old plastic one back on, and then if need be I can change it at a later date. Right, sorry, I've kept you waiting long enough. Sorted the suspension out, steering servo. There's a So I've adjusted the steering dual rate on that because it was taking these way past where it needed to go. So that should hopefully save that little plastic arm a little bit. Anyway, steering servo's on. Let's hope this doesn't disappoint. So ideally this does need to sit a little bit lower, but I think once it's on the ground and we're running it, that won't the juddery throttle won't be an issue, because it's definitely the drive shaft angles that's causing that. But so I've just spotted on all the arms they've got holes for droop screws, so that allows you to bring the arm up by putting a screw through the top. Unfortunately it is onto the plastic bits on the chassis, but it has brought it down a little bit. So now I'm going to switch it on, and now when we lift it up you should see that you should see that it's a lot smoother than it was just a minute ago. So let's switch it on and I'll just do that again. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm quite confident that it's going to be pretty smooth now. There you go, that's better. How long they're going to last, I don't know. These are just normal, like the screws you use on Tamiya kits. 4 of them, one each down the A-arms, and now that's going to be much smoother. It does sit ever so slightly lower now, but it means that when it is going up and over bumps, it's not going to, the drive shafts aren't going to be at a dodgy angle. Anyway, let's get back to that run. So another lovely day in the UK. I've got the WLtoys out. Gonna give it a speed run. On road it done 33 as far as I remember. So I'd like this, I mean the ground's still really waterlogged. I'd like to see 40 on this longish grass. If we can get 40 kilometers an hour with it, then I'd say on the road it's good for 50 plus, which would be good actually. Geared down that brushless, shouldn't struggle too much in this wet muddy grass. Just wait for the GPS to get a satellite signal. If it can, in all this fog. There we go. Zeroed out. Let's give it a run. It seems rather slow on this grass. Seems to be struggling a bit, not as fast as it seemed in the garage with that wheel speed. Oh, that's a bit better. Right, road's pretty quiet. I reckon I can sneak a quick speed run in. That is much better. 52 kilometers an hour. I knew it was that wet grass. That didn't sound too good. I think we're still alright. It's definitely woke up a bit now with this brushless. That is not what I wanted it to do. I was just looking down there thinking it better not fall in. And it has. Right. Drastic measures here. Should have brought my wellies. Right, let's see if we can drive it out. Whoa. Whoa. That could have ended badly. At the skate park, where I love it. Put them shocks to use. Very slippery. As much as I don't like really going to the skate park all the time, it's so much fun, but it is very slippery. So them shocks probably need slightly thinner oil in them, but doing a job. I'm going to attempt just one backflip. I don't want to break this one really. I like it. It could be good in the dry, in the dirt, when it's not so wet and muddy. Plenty of power. Right. Come here, let's try a backflip. I'm not sure it's going to do it. Nearly. Nah. No backflip for this. Wheels are too light, I think. Oh, nearly. Maybe I can. Yeah, we'll call that a landed one. Yeah. Quite controllable in the air. I know it went backflip, but you can still control it in the air. Like so. Nice. Oh. Anyway, let's do something we don't usually do, and that is finish at the skate park with everything working. This thing's really cool with that. I mean, the shocks are a little bit over the top, but stick some thinner oil in and they'll be perfect. Everything's held together, no massive crashes really, but as you can see, pretty handy at the skate park, not too bad on the mud and the grass. Maybe a tooth or two up on that brush just to get a bit more speed out of it, or even stick a 3S in, but really pleased with how this has gone. Cheers for watching, I'll see you next time. This one's really nice on this grip. It's amazing, isn't it, what a bit of traction can do. Waterproof electronics.